Hey, Richie, sit down.
Well, thank you
okay,
very
you got
much.
30 seconds to do what you want to do.
Do everything that I
yeah,
want to do.
okay, no kidding.
Rich, could you sit back and
Yeah,
course I
sit
can.
back, Rich. Don't block my shot.
Sorry.
Okay,
Can't get in the way of your shot.
Okay. What do you got in the box, man? What is that?
So,
Is that like what's all wrapped up in there?
Danny
It's a
Devito.
hard-boiled egg.
first things first,
Let me see that.
can I offer you an egg in
Give
this
me
trying
that
time?
egg. Give me that egg.
There you go.
Yeah. Is it hard-boiled?
Yeah, I've got one that's already peeled if you'd rather that. But,
No.
here we go.
Look at that. See? Now, what's your name again?
Richie.
Stick your hand out like
Yeah.
this, Rich. No, just put your hand out. Yeah, come here. Come closer. Okay, come closer. I can't reach. I'm
Thank
gonna put
you.
the shell somewhere.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't want
true.
them to go on the floor.
No, of course not.
No. So keep your hand out there. Okay? This is like really, an art, peeling an egg. And it's all, yeah.
And it's a privilege being
now
on the
take that.
receiving end of it.
Okay, take that back.
There you go.
All right, now, here you go. Give me your hand. Put that in your mouth.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Yeah, there you go. You got the rest. Come on, you got more to eat.
Yes,
Put
sir.
that whole thing in your mouth and eat it.
All at once, yeah?
Yeah, well, at
Okay.
once, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, now ask me some questions. Okay, this
Yes,
is
sir.
good. But come on, I got to go. Let's
That's
do the
good.
questions. Come on.
Okay. So,
So, yeah.
I heard a quote
Yes,
that you
a
said that we need this film right
Yes,
now.
Exactly. We need this film right now because look at the world we live in, man. I mean, like, Dumbo is representative of so many things. I mean, the xenophobia that's going on, the other. People are afraid of something that's different than them. Dumbo is a beautiful, wonderful creature, an elephant, an animal, somebody we share the earth with. And is born with big ears and is like the, ostracized and looked at and feared. And so what we have to do is take that symbol, and apply it to what's happening now. Look around us. We should give space to everybody to live so that everybody can, have the confidence to build a better world. Also, we deal with, I'm just sensitive of the fact that I don't want you to choke on the egg. Also, we have to deal with the fact that animals shouldn't be in captivity. Animals should be free. Everybody should be free. We should live together in harmony. Well, that's a big task, but what we can do is make sure that we don't put animals in cages and we don't, step all over the earth so they have no place to live. Okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Good.
Thank you so much for elongating that answer
Yes,
so that
so
I
you
can
can
finish this mouthful.
salivate. Yeah, okay.
This film is double the length of the original.
Yes.
Were the changes and everything that you just mentioned, were they a conscious thing to put in considering where the world is right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take the story that Disney did, the 63-minute movie that was so brilliant, and take the good values out of it, give that to Tim Burton, and he, makes it into this wonderful, extravagant, beautiful movie.
And considering everything that you said, that's why you think it's been made in 2019 of
Yes.
all the years.
Yeah. You got the Dumbo story, you got the oddity of the what the story is with the elephant. You got Tim, who's like a little bit of a, I feel a little bit of like a creature, a character that people look at from afar and say, what makes this guy tick, and that's the same kind of feeling. And I'm happy they're doing it now because then I get to play Medici.
Lovely.
And I also play opposite Michael Keaton, who gets to play the bad guy in the movie, and I'm the good guy.
Speaking of,
It's
which leads me very nicely
into.
This is the first time that you, Michael Keaton, and Tim Burton have gotten back together since Batman Returns.
That's
But
right.
what was the difference in between making that film and this film 27 years later?
Well, first of all, Michael and I worked in Johnny Dangerously, which is years ago, and Batman Returns, and now Dumbo. And being in Dumbo was different from the Batman situation because, well, as I do play the good guy, he does play the bad guy. That's a different role reversal. But also, we've all evolved into like, everybody grows a little bit, so you don't see it, but everybody's different, changing. But we love each other just as much, and we have just as much fun together. In that, when we were separate, a little bit more than we are in this movie, because he was in his cave and his stuff. I was in my lair, my penguin lair, and so we were adversaries. But here we're like kind of like there's a duality of like so we blend a little bit, and I learn about him to find out that he is like Not, yeah. Mhm.
Exactly like that. Considering the roles that you've done in your career, is there sort of an archetype? Is there like a line that goes through all of them?
I think there's a kind of like there is a, not all of them. I think that, every part I ever played, I was 5 feet tall. I don't know, it's just like they're different, but they're similar. Like Wormwood is like has a little bit of Louis in him. Louis has a little bit of like,
Frank has a little bit of penguin
Frank
in him.
has a little bit of penguin in him. Well, Frank, it's a whole other story because Frank will do anything just to have a good time.
Speaking of, and this is off the record on the QT and Always Sunny Hush.
Okay.
What are your sort of top 3 favourite moments of Frank's in Always Sunny?
Coming out of the couch.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Of course.
Like being slimed. That was pretty good because I got to wear tighty whities. And let's see. And Trash Man. I got Rum Ham too on the list. So there's a lot of different moments.
Tell me briefly, how did that role come about? Because you joined in the 2nd season. Was it something that you watched and you were like, yes?
Well, I watched it because John Landgraf was producing it with those guys, with Robin, Charlie, and Glenn, and Caitlin. And I liked the show. I watched the first batch. Then a while later, they were going to pick it up for the 2nd season, but they wanted to add a character. John called me, and I, if it was organic, I would do it. And they made me the dad of these 2, like, people who don't look like me at all. But then we fixed that up because my wife was a whore, so it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 more questions.
Go ahead.
First thing, what does the future hold for Danny DeVito? Because you've been iconic in like every decade.
I do lots of things, so I don't know. I just go day by day.
And finally, for us in the UK, tell us why exactly you're backing Bernie Sanders.
Oh, because I think Bernie Sanders speaks the truth. I think he's a democratic, a socialist who, and when you look at that, it's like you either got total capitalism, which is like thinking about one thing, making that number higher and higher and higher in your coffers, or you have democratic socialism, which is you can make that money, you can still have that growth in your portfolio, but you have to think of other people. You have to keep Medicare, and we have to have talking about free colleges. You have to have like housing, low cost housing. You have to all the things that socially you take care of people as well as just for the banks. So you have to give the same difference to the people as you do to the corporations. And they have to be fair about it. And that's what I like about Bernie Sanders.
Love that. Was that 12 minutes already, was it?
That was a lot, man.
8 minutes.
8 minutes?
Yeah.
You're a gentleman. Thank you so much for your time.
Go on. And
honestly.